everyone. Today I would like to tell you 10 short thoughts. Number 1. First, the speaker said that they had reached the voicemail of Dr. Robert Lewis. Next, he announced he was currently attending a medical conference and wouldn't return to his office until Monday, March 15th. After that, he reminded that his associate was available to see patients while he was away. Finally, he suggested calling telephone number to schedule an appointment. Number 2. First, the speaker said hello to the listener and she introduced on that day's show they would be joined Adam Brenner, the lead singer from rock music group Thunderbird. Next, she commented that groups based right there in Toronto gained worldwide following after the release of their debut album for 2 years before. After that, she announced the month after the group would begin their first European tour, and Mr. Brennan would be joining them shortly to talk about the upcoming tour. Finally, she suggested listening to one of the hit songs from the group's album. Number 3. First, the speaker announced their meeting that day was about updating the image of Margate kitchen appliances. Next, she said consumers had a lot of confidence in their stove and refrigerators, and they had done a great job making Margate a familiar name. However, after that, she announced that senior management had asked them to develop a marketing campaign that emphasizes the modern look of their latest appliances. Next, finally, he reminded that the week after they would need to present their plans for the new campaign to the executive team. So that day she would like all of them to begin coming up with ideas for promoting out a contemporary looking product. Number 4. First, the speaker got staff attention and she announced there had been change for one of staff that afternoon management training session. Next, she explained that because more people registered for the workshop grading spreadsheet than expected, so that training session had been moved to conference room A, which was large room. After that, she said no other changes were anticipated at that time. However, she suggested checking for updates throughout the afternoon. Finally, she reminded that they would post any schedule changes on the boards outside of the meeting rooms. Number 5. First, the speaker introduced himself and he said he wanted to confirm the landscaping details for the office park Miss Patel managed. Next, he said as they had discussed, they would be planting 70 new trees and bushes throughout the property, and they could also put in a larger flower garden in the courtyard. After that, he reminded that she had mentioned she might want them to do some additional work near the pond, so he suggested call him and explain what she would like to have done there. He could prepare the final estimate for her. Finally, he hoped working with her on that project. Number 6. First, the speaker introduced that finally that evening on behalf of the organization of film musicals, and he said he was delighted to announce the winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Next, he announced that award went to Rebecca Langhorne, one of their most exceptional composers of music for film. After that, he commented that he had met Rebecca on her very first project, when they had collaborated on the soundtrack for the movie A Year in Denmark. Since then, Rebecca had gone on to compose music for more than 50 other movies, and her music had become familiar to audiences worldwide. Finally, he introduced a short video of movie clips for them, highlighting some of Rebecca's best-known pieces. Number 7. First, the speaker introduced that was news of events around the local area. Next, she announced that weekend the Harmon Medical Clinic was hosting a health and wellness fair. There would be activities for the whole family, including cooking demonstrations and children's games, with lots of information about diet and exercise. After that, she announced doctors from the clinic would be offering eye examinations. They had reduced the cost for eye exams, so that was good time to have their vision checked. Finally, she reminded that they would need an appointment, though, if they interested. He visited Harmon's website to designer. Number 8. First, the speaker introduced that was aboard Parkwood Transit Line B. That train ran from Parkwood to Wellington with several stops in between. Next, she said because of repairs on the Wellington Bridge, trains were running more slowly than usual, so they apologized for any inconvenience that might cause. After that, she announced that they were headed for the international airport. Passengers should get off the train at Wellington and switch to Line C, where the airport express train would be waiting. Finally, she reminded that at that time they request that all passengers had their tickets ready for inspection because the conductor would be coming through in just a few minutes. Number 9. First, the speaker announced that Argo Drive Incorporated, one of the leading manufacturers of agricultural machinery, announced that day that would be released a new line of fuel-efficient tractors only a year after. Next, she commented that the new tractors' engines would consume about 25% less fuel than the older model. Finally, she said the company's leadership said that decision reflects their corporate philosophy of minimizing environmental impact and conserving natural resources. Number 10. First, the speaker announced that he has some news involving the recent change in the company's security policy for visitors. Next, he said after they checked in at the security desk, visitors were required to wait in the lobby for an employee to escort them wherever they needed to go in the building. They wanted their visitor to be as comfortable as possible while they waited. So they had decided to expand the seating area in the lobby. After that, he announced that a construction crew would begin renovations quick after, so they wouldn't be able to use the main entrance during the construction period. Finally, he suggested using the rear door to the building, and he reminded that the work only took a few days and things would be back to normal quickly. Thanks for